In this position, your front palm faces the sky. Your fingers point forward. Your forearm is twisted so the little finger side of your hand feels active and elevated. Your hand is at shoulder height with your elbow sinking. In Chinese, this is called yang zhang. Your rear hand is close to your head with your fingers pulled back and your palm to the sky. In each position, align yourself so that your front arm is aimed toward the center of the circle. Here, your index fingertip is the same height as your eyebrow, and the heel of your hand pushes forward. The crease between your thumb and forefinger, known as the tiger's mouth, faces to your mouth. Your hand is straight and upright. This is called Li Jiang. In this palm, the hand is twisted so the little finger points upward. Focus on pushing your thumb outward. Project your energy through the bottom of your palm with your forearm twisted. This is called Ce Jiang. Extend your hand over your head with your fingers pointing to the sky. Your arm is twisted like a rope. Try to reach to the ceiling while maintaining the twist in your arm. This is called Xuan Jiang. Here, both hands push down and out. Focus your energy into the heel of your hands. Your hands are at waist level with your fingers pointed inward. This is called An Jiang. In this palm, both palms face each other. This is similar to the Tai Chi concept of holding the energy ball. This is called Bao Jiang. In this stance, your front heel and back toe should be the same width as your shoulders. Center your weight evenly on both sides. Both toes point out at the same angle from the circle. In Chinese, this is known as Xie Fang Bu. This stance earns its nickname from its similarity for the Chinese character Ba for the number 8. Your toes point inward with your weight distributed evenly across the bottom of your feet. Your knees are separated by a fraction of an inch. Sink your weight into your heels. This is also known as Kou Bu. This stance also has a nickname, Cuo Zhong Ba Zi Bu, which means twisted 8. In this stance, the feet are at the same angle as the previous stance, but the position of the heel and toe is switched on one foot, and your feet are wider apart. Distribute your weight evenly. It is also known as Bai Bu. Ba Gua footwork reflects the circular shape of the yin-yang. Originally, Ba Gua used a sliding step called Tang Ni Bu. In this method, the feet shave the ground with each step. Sun Lu Tang modified this step to make his Ba Gua footwork lighter and quicker. This is a more natural method of stepping. Today, both methods are still practiced. Beyond walking the circle, transferring from Kobu to Baibu and back is fundamental to Ba Gua footwork. To transfer from Kobu to Baibu, step forward with your front foot so your toe points outward. To transfer from Baibu to Kobu, step with your rear foot so your toe points inward. In Kobu, both toes point toward the center of your circle. Practice moving back and forth between these two stances. Transfer your weight smoothly and evenly so that your hips do not rise or fall, and your movement is constant like flowing water. Focus on maintaining perfect balance and rhythm. On the very top of your head is a point called Ba Gua. This point should extend up to the sky so that your head does not lean forward or back. Your chin should be slightly tucked while your neck is straight. Be sure that your neck position keeps your head erect. Your index fingers should be at the same height as your eyebrow. Your shoulders should be pushing down or sinking. They must be free of any excess tension. Your elbows must sink as well. Sinking the elbows is critical. Your wrists should be pushing outward as far as possible. Your forward wrist should extend farther than your fingertips. Your waist should also be sinking down with a low stance. Your waist should be twisted around as far as possible. This twisting is an important characteristic of Ba Gua. Your tailbone should be lifted and tight. Both knees point forward, aligned with your toes. The energy of your knees should feel connected. Grip the ground with your toes while hollowing the arch of your foot. Maintain all these alignment points while standing still. Learn to stand before you begin to walk. Wuji means empty pose. Empty your mind. There is no thought and no power. Stand like a stone. Stand straight with your toes pointed outward. Masters like Sun Lutang would spend hours standing in Wuji. This is also used as a meditation stance. Taiji is grand ultimate, a combination of yin and yang. This combines your slanted stance with your palms facing forward. Check each one of your body alignment points. This is one of the most important training stances and should also be practiced for hours. Use a pole or a tree to fix your gaze and aim your hand. Body alignment is crucial. As you hold this pose, examine each point with your mind and bring your body into alignment. The more time that you can spend practicing these basic poses, the stronger your Ba Gua will become. But practice mindfully, not just for duration. Once you have checked all of your body alignment points, you can begin walking the circle. At first, your pace does not need to be very fast. Focus on maintaining your alignment and sinking your energy down. Each step should feel rooted with your energy sinking down. Practice walking in both directions. You may walk 1 circle, 10 circles, or 100 circles. The more you practice, the more you will benefit from the exercise. Be sure to balance your circle walking by rotating directions. You may begin to increase your speed as long as you can maintain your alignment. Correct alignment is more important than speed. However, ultimately you do want to be quick. The old masters used to walk the circles so quick that their pigtails would fly straight out behind them. The diameter of your circle may be large or small as long as you are aligned with the center of the circle. Using a pole, a tree, or a yin-yang for the center, the width of the circle can expand to 60 feet or collapse to 6 feet, as long as it remains even. To change the diameter of the circle, you must adjust the angle of your ankle with each step. These adjustments should have no effect on the overall uniformity of your circle walking. Generally, you will maintain the same distance through the duration of a single practice. Here the distance changes merely for example. A small circle will allow you to practice where there is limited space, and a large circle will allow several people to practice together simultaneously. Each partner takes a position on the opposite side of the circle and walks in the same direction. By practicing with partners, you can benefit by encouraging each other to increase the duration of your practice. You may practice walking the circle in one direction for as long as you like. The longer the better. However, at some point you must reverse directions and practice going the other way for the same amount of time. This is for balance. There are several methods for reversals. The first one is known as the single palm change. Generally, a practitioner will walk the circle for a predetermined number of steps, 8 for example, and then reverse with a palm change for 8 steps in the opposite direction. The number of steps and amount of repetitions depends on how long you wish to practice. Start from Wuji, shift to Taiji, then begin walking the circle counterclockwise. Following a slanted stance, step your right foot forward to Kobu. Both feet point inward and your hips face the center of the circle. Keep your left palm facing forward, aimed at the center of the circle. Turn your torso to face the center. Continue to turn in the same direction. Change your left palm to face sideways. Step with your left foot from Kobu to Baibu. Continue to rotate the same direction as you point the fingers of your right hand toward the center. Your right elbow is under your left. Step with your right foot from Baibu to Kobu, facing away from the circle. Reverse directions and change to the mirror image of your original palm facing forward so your right palm is extended. Step with your right foot into a slanted stance facing the reverse direction. Once you have completed the single palm change, you are set to walk in the opposite direction, or clockwise. The single palm change is practiced in both directions, so you can turn around at will. To shift the other direction, turn to face the center, then turn to face your right palm sideward. Coordinate your change from right forward palm to right sideward palm with your right foot step from Kobu to Baibu. The left hand slides underneath your right hand. Both palms face upward with your fingers extended. Jab with your left fingertips under your right armpit. Your eyes focus on the center. Lift your left hand upward over your head. Change into a left forward palm with a continuous, even circular movement. Bring both palms down together, syncing your energy and establishing your body alignment. When you finish walking, return to Wuji. Here you may pause for a few breaths, then rest or extend your practice by standing in meditation. Once you become familiar with this movement, link the single palm change to your circle walking so it all becomes one continuous motion. Since all of the following methods are based upon the single palm change, you must have a firm grasp on this technique before continuing to the next one. The Chinese names for these movements translate into Black Dragon turns around, Black Dragon tucks its tail, Black Dragon turns its head, and Black Tiger comes out of the cave. The double palm change is the second method of reversing directions. This technique develops your single leg balance. It is also more complicated, adding 2 movements to the single palm change. This is called the double palm change because you change your palm position twice before you switch to the other side. Single palm change and double palm change comprise the 2 basic methods of turning. Beyond these 2, there are 8 more intermediate techniques based upon the 8 trigrams. Each of these are named after animals, and the first one is included on this video. The double palm change begins exactly like the single palm change. From walking the circle counterclockwise, turn to face the center of the circle. Step your right leg forward to kobu, facing to the center. Change your left hand from forward palm to sideward palm. Step your left leg from kobu to baibu. Instead of slipping your right arm under your left armpit, change it to face outward. Both palms begin facing the same direction, then your right arm extends up as your left arm extends down. Step your right foot from baibu to kobu. Pivot and change both of your palms to face downward. Turn so that your body faces towards the center. Pivot on your right leg by raising your left leg and hopping. Spread your legs to be twice your shoulder width and sink into what is commonly called horse stance. From here, pivot to cross your elbows, left over right, as in the single palm change. The rest of the sequence is exactly like single palm change. Step right leg to kobu with your toes pointed away from the circle. Shift to the taiji pose facing the opposite direction by raising your right hand over your head in a smooth circular motion. Step right foot to a slanted stance facing the opposite direction. Once you have completed the double palm change, you may continue to walk the circle in a clockwise direction. To turn around again, you must execute a mirror image double palm change. Shift to face the center of the circle with your left foot stepping to kobu. Change your right forward palm to a sideward palm. Step your right foot from kobu to baibu. Your left hand changes to outward palm. Your left palm reaches up as your right reaches down. Both palms face to your left side. Step your left leg to kobu and lift your right foot. Pivot and shift both palms downward. Look to your right. Hop on your left leg. Shift down to horse stance facing the circle. Slip your left hand beneath your right armpit. Your left fingertips to the center. Pivoting on your right heel, step your left foot to kobu. Circle your left hand over your head to change to forward palm. Step your left foot to slanted stance so you are prepared to walk counterclockwise. From here you may continue to walk counterclockwise or you may conclude by returning to Wuji. The double palm change, like the single palm change, is executed as one smooth, continuous movement. Each movement is connected to each other. The palm changes fluidly link clockwise circle walking and counterclockwise circle walking. From your opening Wuji to your closing Wuji, your energy must be constantly connected. In internal styles, continuity across your movements is crucial. Practice circle walking and palm changes until they are free of any hesitation or jerkiness. Double palm change adds 2 movements to the single palm change. Those 2 extra movements are translated from the Chinese as hawk soars through the sky and white snake lies hidden in the grass. Many Chinese martial arts have lyrics such as these to describe movements. These lyrics are more poetic than literal, so you should not fixate on them. One lyric may evoke several movements, or one movement may have several lyrics. After you have practiced Ba Gua to competency, you will be able to walk the circle without a physical prop like the pole or the yin-yang. You can visualize the circle in your mind. However, it is always good to practice occasionally with a center pole even after you can practice without one, to reaffirm your basic training. When practicing Ba Gua, you may alternate your sequence of circle walking and palm changes. These components may be assembled in any order you wish, as long as the sequence is symmetric. By changing your sequence, you can keep it fresh. Be sure to practice your movements on both sides evenly so that your techniques are balanced. Both the single palm change and the double palm change are considered basic techniques. If they were included with the other palm techniques, Dragon Ba Gua would have a total of 10 palms. However, the basic techniques are considered separate. This way, the animal forms are 8 in number and match the 8 trigrams of Ba Gua. Ba Gua is represented by 8 trigrams, or Gua, surrounding the symbol for creation known as yin-yang or taiji. A Gua is made up of a combination of 3 lines, solid yang lines or broken yin lines. Each Gua has a name and individual attributes, including a palm change method. The first palm is Tian Gua. It is represented by 3 solid yang lines. This is symbolic of heaven or the sky, and exemplifies inexhaustible strength and power. In Dragon Ba Gua, it takes the form of a lion. Other systems associate different animals to Tian Gua, such as a horse instead of a lion. The lion form is a variation of the single palm change. However, instead of walking the circle with your palms facing forward, your palms face upward. This palm position is also known as lion opens its jaws. Your arms are spread so that they look like the massive open jaws of a lion. Lion opens its jaws is the 5th phrase in the lyrics of lion form. Single palm change only has 4 phrases because its final movement lacks a name. As mentioned previously, these lyrics are merely used as a descriptive device. They should not be interpreted too literally. Lion form can be combined with single palm change and double palm change to create innumerable sequences. From Wuji stance, change to Taiji stance, or the slanted stance with your palms facing forward. Here the left foot is forward. The Chinese lyric for this is "Black Dragon turns its body" because of the emphasis upon body twisting. Just as in the previous techniques, walk the circle. In this demonstration, we begin walking counterclockwise. Step your rear foot to kobu and face the center of the circle. This is known as "Black Dragon tucks its tail," as a metaphor for how this stance feels. Keep your eyes fixed on the center. Your shoulders are rounded and forward. Your feet also point towards the center. Continue rotating to your left. This is called "Black Dragon turns its head" because of the turning movement. Your left palm pushes to the left side. At the same time, step left to Ba Gua. Turn and slide your right palm underneath your left armpit. This movement earns the name "Black Tiger comes out of the cave." Cross your elbows as far as you can. Your feet point away from the center. Swing your right palm in a wide circle so your palm faces upward. This is the same position as in the first basic palm position from the fundamental section of this video. Lion opens its jaws is the lion movement in the lion form. Only the upper body position changes. Palm faces upward replaces palm faces forward. The footwork is identical to the previous palm changes. Like the previous palm changes, lion form must be executed in both directions. Initially, the upper rear hand, in this case the left hand, sinks to the other elbow during Black Dragon tucks its tail. The footwork is the same step to kobu. The forward hand, here the right hand shifts to side palm, like in Black Dragon turns its head as you step to Ba Gua. The rest of the movements are exactly the same as before, only in mirror image. Once again, you conclude by returning to Wuji. When you have a good grasp of all of the techniques, you may practice them all linked together. Begin in meditation from the Wuji pose. Transition to Taiji pose. From here, begin walking the circle. After a self-determined number of steps, execute the single palm change. Continue by walking the circle in the opposite direction for the same amount of steps as before. The single palm change may be followed with a double palm change. And as before, both sides must be exercised. After both of the basic palm changes are understood, you may add lion form. Once again, practice both sides. Generally, it is best to practice Ba Gua in this ascending order of complexity, just as you learned it. Progress from Wuji to Taiji to single palm to double palm, then to lion form. Conclude by returning to Wuji. At the advanced level, the movements are more free-form so that you can change back and forth from all the different palms into each other. However, at the beginning and intermediate levels, practice from simplest to most complex. If you wish to increase the intensity of your training, increase the amount of steps between each palm change and the duration of your opening and closing Wuji stance. You may also increase your number of repetitions. As always, the more you put into the art, the more you will benefit. You may practice using a pole to sharpen your focus or using a circle to hone your footwork. You may also use both simultaneously to work on both of these aspects. At the advanced level, these guideline props are no longer necessary. Once you have internalized the techniques, these devices can be discarded. At the beginning and intermediate levels, the movements of Ba Gua need not be quick. Focus on smooth, connected transitions and continuous movements. Focus on maintaining all of your body alignment points. Link your arms, legs, and body, as well as your mind, eye, and spirit. The Chinese call these the 6 harmonies. Remember that Ba Gua is an internal style, so your emphasis is placed upon how you can cultivate and conduct your energies. The next video in the series, Dragon Ba Gua Animal Forms, reveals all of the other animals of Ba Gua, including unicorn, snake, hawk, dragon, bear, phoenix, and monkey.